Hello students, today we are going to study about chapter 15 of class 9th, that is improvement in food resources. So what is a food resource? What is a food? Food is anything that gives us the nutrition, like that of cereals which contains wheat, rice, maize, millets, that gives us carbohydrate, pulses, for example, grams, peas, and lentils, which provide us nutrients. Then comes the oil seeds, such as that of soybean, groundnut, sesame, and castor, which provides the nutrient as a fat. Then the vegetables, spices, fruits, these are all contains variety of nucleic acids, vitamins, and minerals. In addition to this, the food crops may also be of different types, like that of a fodder crop, which helps as a food for the livestock. Depending on the type of season in which the food is grown, the crops are of two types: a kharif crop and a rabi crops. Kharif crops are the crops that are grown in rainy season, whereas rabi crops are the crops that are grown in winter season. And the examples of kharif crops are paddy, soybean, pigeon pea, and maize. Since in India, rainy season comes in around June to July, so the cultivation of the kharif crops are grown or done for the period of June to October. On the other hand, the rabi crops involves the crops like wheat, gram, peas, and mustard, which prolong to the period from November to April. So the question comes in this part of a study material is that what is the difference between kharif crops and rabi crops. So this is an example. These are the examples of rabi and kharif crops. So you will be writing the differences in three points. What are the two different crops, when they are grown, what are the example, and the time period in which they are grown. After studying with the type of crops, since we are aware about that the chapter involves the discussion with the improvement in food resources, so the crops are improved in a variety of ways. So we will be discussing with the following three topics. First is the variety, how the variety of the crop can be improved. Next is how the crop production is managed. And third is how can we able to protect the crop from various insects, weeds, pests, etc. So the techniques or the methods for the improvement in the crop variety are: first is hybridization, second is if we can introduce a gene, then the variety of a crop can be introduced or improved. So what is hybridization? Hybridization is a process in which genetically different plants are crossbred, which means that we in this process we are taking two different plants where there is a need of our desired product. when the genetically different products are crossbred, then we can able to obtain our desired product and the variety of the crop will be changed or improved. This can be done with the help of three types of crossing. First is intervarietal. That means the crossing can be done in between two different varieties of a plant. Next is interspecific, where two different species of the same genus, when the plants of two different species of same genus are crossbred together, we can easily able to improve the variety of a crop. Next is intergeneric. Generic means genus and inter means different. When there is a crossbreeding between two different species of two different genus, then that type of plant results into the improvement of the crop. The next improvement can be done with the introduction of gene, where a gene that can provide a desirable characteristic to a crop or important, and the introduction of a important gene will be done in the crop results into the formation of genetically modified crops or GM crops. The crops which are introduced due to the introduction of a gene is known as genetically modified crop, wherein we will be getting our desired characteristic into that group. But there are certain factors on which the crop yield depends. Those factors are, first one is the seed. What are the seeds that are used up by the farmers for the improvement in the variety of crop? Second is climate or weather conditions. If a plant is being or the crop is being improved, that should be maintaining or sustaining a diverse climatic condition. If there is no preferable conditions for the crop, then the crop will not be able to perpetuate in that environment or the climate. So, to sowing those seeds in a proper climatic condition is very important. Next is duality of soil. Duality of soil involves that the crops that has been improved should survive in high saline conditions so that it will help the crop for the better perpetuation. Next is next factor for the crop yield is the availability of water. Since we are living in India, so water is scarce over here. So a proper availability of water is required for the irrigation purpose, without which the crop cannot able to perpetuate in any environment or with any particular weather conditions. So these are few factors that is required for the better crop yield. Thus, in other words, we can say the factors that helps in the improvement in the variety of a crop are higher yield of the crop, improved quality in the characteristics, better biotic and abiotic resistance, change in maturity duration, wider adaptability of the crop in the environment, and the desirable agronomic characteristics. So, to do the following factors, the first important element that we need for the crop is plant nutrients. Plants should be supplied with a better nutrient for the growth of a plant, which should contain a proper macronutrient and a micronutrient. What do you mean by macronutrient and micronutrients? Macronutrients are those nutrients that are required in large quantities by the plants, whereas the nutrients that are used up by the plants in very small amounts or a minimal quantities are required, those nutrients are known as micronutrients. So the supply of macro and micronutrients leads to the better growth of the crop, and thus they will help in the better improvement of the crop. That's all with the strategies that are required in the improvement of variety of crop. In the next video, we will be studying about the crop production management. What are the other management or the measures that are required for the better production of a crop? Thank you for watching.